don't know if you have the same thing, but I swear I change my furniture in my room like 4 times a year. I can't live in one setting for a long time without getting bored of it. Anyway, what's up you guys, it's Katie, and if you've been around for a while, you know that sometimes I like to do controversial topics for videos because everybody on the internet is always super nice about your opinion and there's never haters and nobody ever says anything mean ever. I can already feel all the dislikes on this video, but you know what? I don't even care. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to jump into the fire and talk about it. We're taking on the purity movement today, guys. Oh, I'm ready. So if you were raised in the church like myself, you probably had a purity talk at one time or another, whether it was at youth group or Sunday school or something in that context. And obviously to start with, they separated the guys and the girls into different rooms because you just can't talk about this subject with them in the same room. It's not how it's done. And what I discovered as I got older, as I started talking to my friends and we started kind of exchanging information on what happens in those very secret, separate rooms, what I found is that the guys' message usually focused on this whole idea of respecting girls, which is a good thing. I do want to clarify that. But what they really talked about was as you get older, you're gonna have these feelings and it's really important to still be gentlemen and to have boundaries and not push a girl past these boundaries and to always, always, always treat her with respect, which is good. But the thing is that the girls' talks, what we would always focus on, the main thing, 100% hands down, was always saving sex until marriage. No matter what age you were, it was always about the fact that your body is a pure thing and guys are gonna want to take from you and guys are gonna want to do these things, but you need to save that. As if you have purity now, but if you make mistakes along the way to marriage, you can lose it. These discussions were then followed with all of us being strongly encouraged to get a purity ring, as well as these all too common analogies that go something like this. Alright ladies, think of your purity like a chocolate bar. For every guy that's not your husband that you give a piece of yourself, it's like breaking off a piece of your chocolate bar, and then one day when you find your husband, all you'll have to give them is half a chocolate bar. Don't you want to save your full chocolate bar for your husband? You can also look at your purity like a glass of water. You start out nice and clear, but the more you start giving yourself away to people that aren't your husband, the more you let dirt and grime into your glass of water, and the more you do with people that are not your spouse, the dirtier this glass of water gets. And don't you think that you owe it to your future husband to keep that nice glass of water for him? So here's what I noticed as a result. As I got older, despite all the purity talks and all the analogies, hormones hit, and a lot of my friends made decisions that they later regretted. But because purity was always something that they had been told that they had, but it could be blemished or broken if they did something wrong, when they messed up, it was almost this all or nothing mentality. It's like, well, I messed up once, I might as well keep going. My chocolate bar is broken, my glass is dirty, this guy that I've been trying to stay pure for, he's not even gonna want me now anyways. Seeing some of my friends go through this and the hurt that they kept heaping on themselves because of it broke my heart. And for me, the problem of what happened was the basis of the talks in the first place. Let me say this once, and let me say this clearly. My purity is not about me saving myself for another sinful human being that God has put on this earth. I am not a chocolate bar. I am not a glass of water. I am a daughter of the living God, and because of him sending Jesus to die on the cross for me, because of the Lord taking my transgressions upon himself on that cross that day, I owe him my entire life. I choose to live my life in a way that reflects Christ and to honor my body in the way that he has commanded me to do. And by so doing, I choose to save myself for marriage. I choose to have boundaries in relationships. I'm completely fine saying that I'm not going to have sex until I'm married. And that is something I am proud of, but it is also not something I'm doing for this future husband. I'm not doing this for some other person in this world. To put him in that position, to put your future husband or your future spouse in that position is putting them in the position that Jesus Christ should be, which is not helpful and which is not right. You can't do this for another person. You have to do it for your relationship with the Lord. This is about you and God. This is not about you breaking some promise to some person you might not even know yet. Man, I'm so fired up right now. Purity isn't even just about sex, and yet so often in the church, all we hear about is saving yourself until marriage. Be pure, save yourself until marriage. And yet, what about your language? What about your thoughts? What about your decisions and your actions? Purity is about aiming for more and to live your life in a way that reflects Christ, and yet all we hear is this message of sexual mistakes almost that weighs us down and don't mess up or else you're impure. What are we telling our future generation in the church? If you watching this have made decisions that you regret and you feel impure and you feel as though you had this gift that you gave away, I want you to know that when you come to the Lord and you give him your hurt and your wounds, his forgiveness and his grace makes it not about what you did with your body, but about what he did with his. That's a line my mother taught me when I was younger, and I love it, and so many people need to hear that. His sacrifice cleanses us pure and washes away all sin. Please don't accept this all or nothing mentality. You are a child of the living God, and your relationship with him is what makes you pure, not the mistakes you might have in your past. And mistakes mistakes in your past do not define your future if you don't let them. So yes, I'm completely fine and confident saying before however many people are watching this video that I am saving sex for marriage, and I'm excited that one day I will be able to experience that for the first time with my husband. But it was never about him, and it was never about what my Sunday school teachers or youth leaders or even my parents told me. It was about my own relationship with the Lord. You know, I don't even care how many dislikes this video has because I'm glad that I made it. And I hope that if this is something that you've been thinking about or that you need to hear, something I've said has resonated with you today, and I hope that some of it has been an encouragement for you on your journey. I love all you guys so much, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you don't already follow me, I'm gonna leave my social media here because I just love interacting with you over there. A lot of the comments and messages I've received from you recently have been the inspiration for this video, as well as a lot of other ones. So please do feel free to come hang out with me over here and keep being your awesome selves. And until the next time I see you guys, have a great life. Don't be stupid or make bad decisions.